Hello everyone, Gigs here once again for part 2 of the Constantiam base tour of Aurora Seas. So we saw quite a bit in the last episode and I still have quite a bit to show you. We still have the builds sort of over this area to around the corner, and we have a couple of big builds over the hill. So I will try and get through this as best I can and as quickly as I can, but this may be a bit of a long episode in order for me to get it all in and show you enough details. So I am in my client so that I can do a little bit of free cam round if I need to, in order to show things off without having to run around too much, and hopefully that will help speed things up. So, dookie dunk. Here we have the yellow submarine, and this was built by Krazy. This is the yellow submarine after the Beatles, so it's definitely not just yellow for being called yellow for being called yellow. He did have, and again it's such a shame, he did have the Beatles staring out the window in his ship. It's a shame that they're not there. Now how do I get into... Trying to remember how I get into the submarine. Step 1. Remember how you get into the submarine. I was sure there was an entrance somewhere. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, hello. Lighting crazy. Let's run. He's sitting on there. So this has got us up here. Yep, you float up there. I'm sorry, Krazy. Oops. Okay. Here we go. So yeah, so inside of here you had the Beatles sit in here. I don't know if he had more detail in here. I don't remember coming in here and seeing more than this. I know it was a project that he was still working on, and he has a couple of other builds around the place that you will see that he did, so he was quite busy, but this is quite a huge build. And again, no dupes at this base meant that he had to create all of this concrete himself. But we'll see more of how he did that when we get over to one of his other builds. And he had plans to build an octopus cave here, which is kind of cool. So we'll zoom up on over here. I was going to say that was really fast swimming. Just had to remember then that I'm in creative mode. So I was actually flying. So this is our community house. So this was built by Leo, and this was just where we all came in and where we had all originally set our beds. So we each had, well, me and Varga shared bedrooms. So we each had our little bed and area in here, private chests. So everyone, until they made themselves their own little spot, we all had just our own little rooms that we could come along and get cozy in until we built. So that was handy dandy. It was also a good place for us to leave communal stuff to share. We did have maps all up here, but they don't seem to have come through on the download either, but yep. So again, we're very sharing in our bases, and there's no point hogging all the materials to yourself. It's got a little bit of, and again, you can see the amount of flowers that we put all over the place. Someone made a little pumpkin head man over there. He's a floating pumpkin head, but I think he had an armor stand underneath him, and maybe that's not come through as well. So over here we have my place. So we'll take a quick look at my place. Speed is making me feel a bit bleh. But this is my place from up here. So I've just built a little bit of a tent style archway here. That's my banner there. So we'll float on down here. Got the stairs going down. Now, I was still trying to work out what I wanted to do with these areas here. So they are empty. So there's nothing in those yet. I did build a little bit of a tree here, and you'll see that I've got trees underwater out here as well. So they're all growing there. I was waiting for 1.13 to come along so I could put fish and things around it and coral, so it was still a bit of a work in progress. Down here was my storage area. This is where I was keeping all my bits and pieces. Again, we weren't rich, so I didn't need that many storage chests. And I'm pretty sure that these will be empty. Yep. What is missing from down here is I did have, so I've got the cow, the pig, the chicken and the sheep up there. I did actually have 2 of each of those in each of these little areas, and the sheep were color coded to match the color of the glass, but that seems to have, again, entities disappearing. They seem to have gone. Bit of water walls there. On the other side, I had the other part of my build. It's down here, and that is basically my underground town. So a little bit of a, I hadn't 100% completed it. We've got a little bit of a community garden, a little bit of a mural on the walls, and a few houses. So all these houses I sort of styled after sort of kind of like the American brownstone houses. Sort of done them all in different bricks and bits and pieces, and inside them I have, and they're all fairly similar on the inside, where I've got a kitchen, dining room, got a bit of a lounge up here. There was paintings on the walls that looked like a TV, and then up here you had the bedroom. I was still trying to work out the bathroom, but yeah, so that was essentially, so all of these are pretty much exactly the same. Oops, oh, stuck, no. They're all pretty much the same. The difference is that this was a work in progress. This was a room that I was using while I was down here. This one I actually made a backyard for. That was my nano farm I think I was making. But yeah, so they're all pretty much the same, just might have used thunder. I just might have used slightly different color blocks in each of them. So, but yeah. So not much difference. I also built a library and a cafe. Did have item frames on the wall with potions in it, but again they've not come through. Built a little bit of a well out of the beacons that were going up through. The roof is supposed to be clouds and the sky. I feel a little bit awkward showing off my own build. Again, this one I still needed to do the furnishing in it, so I'd started on this one here, so we were still getting through there. This was the last one I built, and then in here was the stables. A little bit of a horse pickles out there. All my horses have not come through as well, so we just had a bit of stables there. So that was that. Let's quickly get out of here. I actually really enjoyed this. This was a when I started building this, it was one of the first times I'd felt really creative in quite a while. So let's scoot on out of here. It's almost like a maze to get out of here. Dunk, at least we can fly once we get to here. Stuck. No, we can't fly. Stuck. No. Let's do weather clear again. And time set day so we don't get all the mobs. So we've seen my place, we've seen the community house, was that little rent a horse that we had down there, got a little AFK fishing area. You could also AFK off the side of the community house if you wanted to. These are our community boards, which I'm not really going to show just because of the messages that are on there and bits and pieces. There was a big map of Aurora Seas on here, but again the maps haven't come through in the download, which is a bit of a shame. That is a slime house, I think, and this was a fish. So there was always fish here if you needed food, so we had no issues with that. I think this was slimes. think this might have been slimes. Dmonki had a slime farm that was actually down below, and if I zoom down here, there's slime. There was a slime farm right next to my build and the community area, so it was definitely something that was kept loaded while I was building. So where are we off to now? So we'll head on through to here, and now a lot of these walkways, I think there's a couple of people who worked on them, but most of them, the boardwalk and bits and pieces was from Krazy. So he did a lot of this. This was the boys' treehouse, and girls weren't allowed in. So me and Varga were banned from the treehouse. All I can say is, no, here I am. Wow, rude. Rude. But anyway, that's their treehouse. This was James' place. House of James. A little bit bare. James kind of stopped playing around about the time that we arrived at Aurora Seas, so this was pretty much all we got from him. It's still a lovely little house by the seaside. It's got a good view there. Sorry, I know I feel like I'm really rushing through this, but I've got so much to show you, I feel I need to rush. So over here we have James's ship, the SS James Rustles. Such a big, magnificent ship. And SS DrtyDawg. Doggy, that's cute. Okay, so but really, in reality, these were all trying to compete against SS Leon, which was Leo's ship, which you can tell by the it's got dragon heads on there, the style of the ship that is very Leo-esque. Dragon's egg up there as well. Very nice detail. From a distance, it really looks cool. Like, that's an amazing build. His ship got chickened. there was some antics going on, and it got chickened. So in here we've got the captain's area where we can have cake. Oops. He's had his bed set here. Again, a nice little view out here. Ooh. Quick exit. And below deck's not much, it's just a few bits and pieces. A little bit of storage as well for himself. So again, although we shared, everyone had their own personal storage areas, but we were always welcome to come over and grab anything that we needed. Leo's storage room. So I think that's the great thing about our group of people who play together. We're all helping each other out all the time. So the path comes through underneath this hill, and you'll see down here there's a big dome, and this was built by Mbash. So Mbash also had great big plans, and 1.3 would have been really great. Unfortunately, this is about as far as he managed to get as well by the time he arrived, and we were then griefed. So let's head back on up here. So he put in quite a bit of effort to dig out down here and put all these down here. He had his aquariums already for the fish. Come on through here, and again, Krazy's boardwalk, just you would have seen it all the way from over the flower farms and all around Varga's area, so it goes completely around the coastline, even goes all the way around to the builds that we're going to see over the hill. This is Krazy's little house. Actually, they're both Krazy's little houses. This was his AFK fishing area. He also kept some books here. His storage area down there. This is where we would see him AFKing and fishing. Not exactly sure where he did the fishing part of it. Oh, here. Right there. You've got all the hoppers going down into a storage area. Inside of here is so this is where the magic happens. This is where his concrete powder, concrete maker, color converter is. Oh, we've got some of the maps in here. So we did get some of them appear. So that's fantastic. Very happy to see that. Got the elections coming up again soon. Right, so let's head on down. So we can drop down here. Look at all the colours. Very pretty. So we head on through here, and this was... He was still a work in progress. You can see he's got things marked out how he was going to do it all, but this was his concrete color converter, sand converter. So we were able to turn our white concrete into colored concrete, or our white sand into red sand, or yellow sand I suppose. But yeah, and then you had a little area down here where we could make our powder into concrete. So very, very clever, super impressed. This made life a lot easier, and it meant that from a concrete perspective you only needed to use bone meal, and then you could convert it all here. So it's fantastic. And this is his Obby Road. Play on the Beatles words again for Abbey Road. And we can head on over here to the yellow submarine, but we can also, let me fly so it's quicker, but we can also head off to Dmonki's grinder. Now I'm guessing that that is down here to the grinder. We've already been to the yellow submarine, so we don't need to go anywhere further, and this is Dmonki's grinder. So we had a double cave spider spawner this way. Weather is bad again. So down here, speedy. So down here we have an AFK fishing area, and then you had the spider spawners on both sides, so you could kill the spiders. And here they come through. I don't know how many times I got poisoned down here. You see, very nice area by Dmonki. And just a little bit of a skelly grinder up here. So now I am probably going to have to fast forward some of this stuff, some of the travelling in between, or slip between them, because otherwise we are going to otherwise you're going to get stuck watching me. That is supposed to be a minecart right up there. So there's a clear time set day. Okay, so, and that's Krazy's place there, and this is Dmonki's tower. Very, very nice. And down here, I think this is Legato's area. Again, a work in progress. So I'm not sure whether this was to stay like that or he's just marking it out again, but very nice. He was also working down here, and how cool is that? Details there, and here we go. How pretty is this? Oh wow, I had not seen this part. That is amazing. Bench there. Oh wow. Oh, this is so pretty. The detail, that's just amazing. Wow. That's That's gorgeous. Let me just go into free cam mode so that I can... Oh, wow. That's so nice. Such a shame we didn't get to see this completed. Lovely stairway. Oh wow. That is just cool. And then the water up above. Like, that's just amazing. And for those of you that have never seen it, this is the Legato. Everdell is his other alt. That is his map. It's probably one of my favourite maps on the server. Beautiful map. Beautiful map. Wow. This is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay. Bit of a map there. Very nice, very nice. A bit odd that some maps came through and some didn't, but that's downloads for you. And over here, this big, massive place that is still obviously a work in progress was Deddry's. Gonna be massive. Again, wasn't able to finish it, but you can see from the bones of it that he had big plans for it. It's huge and amazing. And over here you can already see this. This was gonna be huge. This is DrtyDawg's build. To not see this come to its end is such a shame. This was all hills. Sorry, that middle part not so much, but you can see wherever you see the stone, that was all hills. I don't know how many hours, even this bit back here, he took all the hills back and then recreated these smaller hills so that he would have room for this. It took him literally forever to do all of that. And just the detail in these walkways, it's just all so beautiful. This is styled off a temple, however he was adding his own twist to it. There are a couple of details that are missing from this download that he had done. I'm going to pop a couple of pictures on the screen because I really love to show off the work that he's done on it, but this is just such an ambitious build and he was so busy getting it done. Like, this is amazing. I just love it. So sad that he never got to complete it. Like, when you just look, even the mix of the blocks here, the birch, the sandstone, the stairs, the half slabs, all making details throughout this. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Then on the inside you've got the fences adding more detail to it. The mix of the cobble. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm blown away at the beauty of the work that my base mates are able to pull together. It's amazing. And again, all of this stone and everything came from us digging out the hillsides. So again, no duping. This is all mined by hand. And then I know that he also had, I may have to do free cam again. He had a neat little, here we go, is it going to come into render distance for me as well? And this gorgeous little area where he's got the skelly farm, the skelly grinder. A little bit of blood on the ground. Someone obviously got hit by a skelly and went for a little bit of a walk over to the enchantment area. But again, all the little tiny details that have gone into building this. It just looks so cool. So very nice. Okay, so there is just one last build I think I have to show. Again, so in love with this. I had started placing flowers for him, but I hadn't gotten very far. I still had lots more to go. The flower farm was going to come in handy. So, the last building to show is my horse stables. again, I'd started printing this up with flowers as well. This was chock-a-block full of horses. I was trying to breed up horses to get all level 15-star horses. I'd made quite a few of them. I had a few in here. Oh, actually some of them are still in here. I also had, so these weren't quite 15 stars, and they were 14-star ones. I was also trying to get them of each different variety, so I was filling up the pens with all the different horses, and then I had a second layer up here where I was also putting some more as well. So yeah, unfortunately this was one of the first builds that got griefed because it was all wood and easy to burn. The griefer was very, very lazy. He took a flint and steel to my builds and Varga's builds first because they were easy to burn down, which was a bit of a shame. But essentially that is Aurora Seas. Now I know that was again a very whirlwind tour, and it may feel like I was rushing through it because I was, to try and show you it all. Big apologies to any of my base mates if I missed parts of your builds or I didn't explain it properly. I am really sorry. It's sometimes hard to remember all this stuff as you're running through and trying to get it all done. But this is, am I going to get enough in render distance? Not quite. This is Aurora Seas, and I am very proud to have been part of this base and am happy to call the base mates friends. So thank you very much, and thank you for joining me on a tour of our base, and you have a great day.